we're talking about interior and exterior angle measures. Okay, so a polygon. Does anyone know what a polygon is? Say that one more time.
5-sided. Wait, what?
Is it always 5? Is it always 5-sided?
No.
No. It's how many sides or more? 3. Okay, so 3 sides or more. Or more. Clear? Okay. So if it's 3 sides or more, what does that mean the shape is always going to be? It's always going to be at least a what? What's a shape with 3 sides? So it has to be a triangle or more. Do you guys see that? Right? So is this a triangle?
No.
So is that a polygon? No. You see that? But anything more than a triangle is a polygon. Got it? Okay. So when I have a shape like this, right? How many sides does this have? 5. Okay? So I labeled all the vertices, right? It's just a random shape, right? So this is a polygon because it has 3 or more, right? You see that? So do you remember the equation for the interior? What is the equation for interior? So n minus 2 times 180. Okay. Let me write that a bit closer. So n minus 2 times 180. Okay. Now, using what I just told you about polygons and this equation, how does this relate to what we're doing right now? Does anybody know? Like, why is this n minus 2? Does anyone know that by any chance? Say that one more time. The number of triangles it makes, exactly. Okay? So that's why it's n minus 2, because from these 5 sides, right? This is a triangle, so that's one triangle, right? And then how many more triangles can I make when I make diagonal lines? So if I connect either 2 or 5 or 4 and 3, right? That makes 2 more, right? Do you see that? Do you see that? That's important, guys. Okay? I'm trying to explain it to you so like you understand it. So you don't forget the formula. Do you know what I mean? Because we can easily forget n minus 2 times 180. Got it? Okay? So how many triangles can I make with 5 sides? It's 1, 2, 3, right? Does that make sense? Okay. And then when I have 4, when I have something like this, right? And there's 4 vertices, right? I call these vertices. Vertices is just where the 2 points meet, okay? If I have 4, right? And then I can split this into how many? 2. Right? So like one like this, and then there's 2 triangles. Right? So 4 minus 2 is 2. Right? And then how many what does a triangle equal? The sum of a triangle. Anybody have an idea? Sum of a triangle. 180. So that's why it's 180. We get that? That's what that formula means. Got it? Because a polygon is 3 or more, so it has to be at least a triangle. Got it? And then a triangle is 180, and to split triangles, right? That's the formula, n minus 2. Because when you make a diagonal line, you're essentially like splitting it in half. You get the idea? You understand that? Okay. So now you'll ace this, okay? If your college professor asks you, hey, prove this equation, you got it. Okay? You got to explain it. Cool. So that's for interior. So anything inside, right? Okay? And then what do you think, what's for exterior? Exterior would be 360, right? Okay, and for that reasoning, just try to remember that, like, it's all of it. Okay, so everything outside, and if you like do everything outside, it's like a circle, right? Make sense? That's how I kind of remember it. Are we good? Cool. This is the how many sides there are, right? That's what n represents. Got it? Okay, if you want to change that n into a s, I mean, you can do that. Just so you remember that s equals sides. Okay, cool. Curves it up to that. Okay, so sum means the total of everything, but in the second row it asks for the interior angle measure of a regular polygon. So it's not asking you for the total, but it's asking you for just one measure. So what do you think you do to this to find one measure? How do you do that? So if I have n minus 2 times 180. Okay. Hello, the paper's in the chair, okay? So if I have this, which is the sum of everything, right? What would be just for one measure? Any ideas? Or you saying one measure? Divide by over, right? Got it? Okay? Because it's just one measure. Okay, so this is for the. So this isn't sum. This is just the interior measure. Very good. Questions? We're good? Okay. And then exterior angle measure of a regular polygon, is that just 360 over n? I don't know. What's it for that one? Is it 360 over n? Okay. Good. Cool. Very nice. Any questions? We're good? Okay. Let's try to do number 1. Okay? So using this equation, this one, it can either ask you for the number of sides or the total sum. You got to use this for both cases. Does this make sense? So if you're being asked find the sum, you need to have the number of what? Sides. Does that make sense? And if you're asked for the number of sides, then you should already have the what? The total sum. Does this make sense? Good, nice. Okay, so for number 1, I'm looking for the sum. So the sides are already given to me, right? Because pentagon has 5 sides, right? Do you see that? Okay. And then number 3, it says, what is the measure of each interior angle of a regular octagon? So octagon's 8, right? So you got to divide that by 8. The total sum, once you solve for it, divide it by 8, because there's 8 sides, right? Okay. Any questions? We're good? Okay. To remember this equation, just remember, like, whatever angle measure it is, I'm dividing it by the same number. Right? Because any number divided by the same number equals what? 1, right? And you're finding one angle? Okay. Cool. And then for the number of sides in a regular polygon, it should be 360 over the exterior angle. Okay? Learning, using what we talked about for n minus 2 times 180, right? We know that that's the sum. Is this clear? This is the sum. Okay, now if you don't know what each shape equals as its sum, you have to use this n minus 2 times 180, okay, for every shape. Okay, now for a triangle, you guys have practiced a lot, so you know that a triangle is 180, right? So if I plug in, how many sides does a triangle have? 3, right? So this is 3 minus 2 times 180. This is 1. 1 times 180 is 180, right? So that's why this triangle is 180. Okay? This equation is true for every single one of these. Okay, so I'm going to give you the list, okay? This is a pentagon. This is where n equals 5, right? Okay? Hexagon, n equals 6, right? So if you plug in 6, 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 times 180 is 720. Okay? Now, if you get the hang of it, you sometimes won't need this equation when you're trying to find the sum sometimes. Okay? Like if you memorize this whole list, if you know that there's 6 sides, you're probably going to just say 720. Okay? Now, she'll probably ask you to show your work, so please do that right here, right? As I did. Okay? But that's how you can check your work. If you have 6 sides and you do the math and you don't get 720, well, then you know you did something wrong. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, an octagon is 1080. Okay, so if I draw 8 sides, 1, 2. Okay, this is 1080. And if you want to check your work, plug in 8 for this, and then you should get 1080, right? Make sure I'm right. Okay, so we got number 6 says the sum of interior angles is 1620 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? Okay, so I told you when it's giving you the sum, you're going to be finding n, which is the sides, right? Okay, it's either or. Got it? So the equation, I already explained this, right? Like y it's n minus 2, 180, right? And this equals what? What does it equal? What does this equal for number 6? 1620. Exactly. Okay? Because this equation is the sum. So it equals that because it's the sum. Get it? Okay. And then you're going to be doing the math to find out what n equals. Does that make sense? So this one's a little harder though because you have to do different math than just multiplying, right? To find the sum, right? Okay. So I would be dividing by 180. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Got it? So divide 180. Divide 180. And then n minus 2 equals that. What is, I don't know what that is. I can't do mental math.
It's 9.
It's 9?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do we do here? Add 2, right. So n equals 11. Very good. Thank you. So how many sides are there if the sum is 1620? 11. There you go. Now you know. So if you're being honest, if you just like kind of memorize how many sides equal the sum, like you just know that 11 is 1620, then you won't have any issue doing the math. Just like a triangle equals what? A 180, right? So do you have to do the math for that?
No.
Exactly. So if there was 3 sides, right? 3 sides, like a triangle. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then 1 times 180 is 180, right? Exactly. But do I have to show that? No, because you guys are smart. You don't need to. You need to write that down. Very good. Something like this. And then it says 79, 55, 110, x. And then you're just finding the value for that.
That's what I did.
I got 160.
Forget this one.
Okay?
Because it's 360.
So
Because it's
how many, what's the sum if you have 4 angles? Does anyone know just right off the bat? If you don't know, what should you be using? The what?
Calculator?
No.
Oh.
You got to use this. That's what this is for. This is the sum, right? The n minus 2 times 180, right? And how many sides are there? 4, right. So 4 minus 2 times 180, what is that? 360. Got it? So if you don't know the sum of a shape, you got to use that formula. This is the sum, right? Does this make sense? Now, if you already know that this equals 360, well then you don't have to know. Okay, but when it's 4 angles, you know it's 360 now, right? Okay. So if you want to show off to your teacher, you're like, man, I don't need this equation. I'm sure you got to use that. And then once you have this sum, what do you do? Are you looking for the sum? Is it asking you for the sum for number 12? Does it ask for sum for number 12? Yes or no? No. So then you have to set the equation up for all of this. So 79 plus 55 plus 110 plus x equals what? 360, right? Because we solved for the sum. Good.